Hello, my Aquarians. Welcome to your monthly reading for the month of November. And we're going to jump in here by pulling a card first from the chakra reading cards. And this is just going to represent what the Creator wants you to know just overall for the month of November. It can be the theme or the energies or just whatever the Creator wants you to give you a heads up on. So just give it one more shuffle here. There we go. All right, Creator, what do you want our Aquarians to know about the month of November, please? What do you want us to know about the month of November? Okay, looks like this is going to be the one. And you've got peace. Card number 31. Hallelujah, right? A time of beautiful peace. I love this magical lotus flower here. Beautiful. Yeah, definitely things are calming down. I kind of feel like, you're coming into the eye of the storm, coming out of the activities that are going on in your life, the chaotic feeling that's going on in your life. And this is the crown chakra energy. So definitely it's about connecting to this higher place that allows you to really connect to this beautiful, unconditional love energy that brings you kind of like anchors you and brings you back into the center, because it's this beautiful ebb and flow that we go through. We get bored of having things too peaceful in our life, right? So we go out and something out in the storm, some bright, shiny thing attracts us out there. We do our backflips and then we come back to the center, to this place of peace. I love it. It says, you've called upon this card to remind you that peace is available to you in each moment. Peace lives within you and surrounds you at all times, and you're encouraged to connect with the powerful healing vibration of your soul and the universe. Your life may have been feeling out of control and full of stress of late, and it's time to stop for a moment and recognize and deeply connect to the peace that lies within you. You may feel the urge to meditate or simply go somewhere in nature where you're able to sit by yourself to feel the peaceful energy that is being offered to you at this time. When you can stop and connect with this energy, it will invoke a deep process of cleansing and renewal, which will make you feel lighter, clearer, and more energized. Sitting with the peacefulness of your being will bring about deep healing on many levels. We're all striving to find peace in the world, and we don't realize that all the striving actually stops us from truly being in the energy of peace. So true. It's now time to stop and be in peace that resonates in every cell of your being. If you've asked a specific question, this card is a sign that peace is present and is the answer. Feel the peace in your soul and bathe in its magical essence. And the affirmation for this card is, peace exists in each moment and with every cell of my being. So take a big deep breath and just let that come out slowly, and just realize that peace is around you every moment. There's always the eye in the eye of the storm that we're going through. We just have to take time to stop trying and just be and connect to that inner peace. I love it. We're also going to pull a card here from this tarot deck, and what I've been doing is each month, so far anyway, all the monthlies I've been doing, is I take a tarot deck and I split out the major arcana from the four suits of the minor arcana. And for the major arcana, it represents, like this card does, the overall theme or overall essence, whatever the Creator wants you to know just for the entire month. These happen to be the Revelations Tarot, which I really like. And so let me just give it one more little shuffle here. There we go. All right, Creator, and what additional information do you have for our Aquarians for the month of November, please? What else would you like our Aquarians to know? Okay. That is the one. And you've got Judgment, which is not a bad card. I love that it's XX, which is endings and new beginnings, both on the physical plane and on the spiritual plane, because this is showing, like, usually there's a coffin and the person's rising, the little human side of us is rising, from the grave, and this is our higher spiritual self, and all our support team on the other side, they're all letting us and showing us who we really are, the higher being that we are. This is where we find the peace, like I think the Bible talks about the peace that surpasses all understanding. We don't understand. How can you be at peace with everything going on, right? It's not understandable. Well, it's not understandable in our human mind, but when we connect and see everything from that higher level and from that bigger picture, then we understand, because like I talked about, when this amazing energy comes from above, the energy that is love energy, unconditional love energy, it brings this satisfaction, it brings this wholeness, it brings this awareness, it brings, like I said, that high picture point of view. And we understand. It's like if you leave the planet and you step out on the moon and you look down at the earth, everything seems so much smaller because you're connected to so much more, and you understand that there's this peace that just comes over you when you realize, who cares about if that television show was canceled, or that person is in office and that person isn't, or that person was, or that I didn't get that promotion, that I don't have all those possessions that I want, or that relationship didn't work out. When you step up from this big picture point of view, you see yourself as this higher being, this infinite being, this universal being, and you realize, if I'm that big of a being, those little things don't impact me, right? And so I love this energy that's coming in for this month for you. We're of course going to dig in more here, and we're going to start off with this suit of wands. Each of these different suits are going to represent 4 different parts of our lives, or 4 different parts of our beingness here, as these characters, and just our overall being while we're here. And like I said, this is the wands, which is the element of fire. And for this reading, it's going to represent our spiritual side, which we already kind of talked about a lot. So we'll find out what else the Creator wants you to know about your spiritual adventure for the month of November. Wands are also like your drive, your ambition, your aha, inspiration, just that spark that's within us that just encourages us and nudges us and excites us, like our passion for life as well, in addition to spirit. So, all right, Creator, what do you want? Okay, actually, I feel this one right here. For your spiritual adventure in the month of November, you get the Queen of Wands, which is beautiful, because the Queen of Wands, she's the divine feminine, so she brings in a lot of emotional energy too, along with the passions. She's very confident. She's very bold. She's not stupid. She doesn't just run into things like, I got so much energy, and just jumps. She knows what she wants. She has the Ace of Wands in her hand here, which is her spiritual energy and her drive. She understands, so she can focus that, laser focus, and do things. A lot of the other, like the Page, the Knight, and the King usually have I think it's a salamander on there, which helps protect them, from taking risks. And the Queen doesn't have the salamander on her card, but she has a black cat. And I love it because, with that emotional energy that she brings in, that also is the attachment to the intuition. So she doesn't need that protection like the other suit, the other royal court of the wand suit, because she's going to be so connected to the upper world, so connected to the spirit world because of that intuition. And that's what that black cat represents, is this it's like her partner, her familiar, bringing her messages, bringing her guidance, telling her about risks so she avoids the risk, and because she's so fine-tuned. So I love this showing up here for you, because that means that you are also very much in tune with your spiritual connection. We're going to pull a card here from the Energy Oracle and just see what else the Creator wants you to know about your spiritual adventure. But we already knew that you were going to be so well connected, because you do have especially this host of other angelic beings and other beings of unconditional love and light that are so available for you, helping you see from that higher point of view outside of time and space. They're able to help guide you for your highest experience and to bring you your highest vibration of love. If you get quiet, like it talked about, to this place of peace and listen, because when you're out in the storm, all you hear is the noise, all the fear noise, which is so loud you can't hear the whispers of love. But when you come to this place of peace, even talked about like getting in nature, getting away from things, you can purposely recalibrate your vibration, like your frequency, because the frequency that spirit in the beings of unconditional love and light speak on and communicate on is one of unconditional love and joy and peace and laughter, right? So they're at that frequency, and when we're in the fear noise, it's a lower frequency. So we can't hear it, or it's very staticky if we can make out a word here and there. But when you purposely raise your vibration and your love vibration up to that, then you can hear messages more clearly as well. All right, so for our Aquarians, what else would you like them to know about your spiritual adventure, please? What else do you want the Aquarians to know? Okay. They said this one right there, very specific. So, carrying connections, number 14. I love that. So definitely, this is about the carrying connections. Up here, we have these very loving connections on the other side. And so, all those beings, they want me to be kind of specific about who these connections are. So, of course, we can connect to the Creator, always listening to us. We just have to raise our vibration to hear Spirit, the essence of the Creator, always around us, always wanting to talk with us and guide us and urge us and nudge us to the path that we wanted to experience while we're here. Then you have that whole slew of support up there. You've got your guardian angel who's been with you since your soul. That very moment your soul was created, they were created along with you. You've got your angels, your spirit guides, loved ones, who have, been here on the earth with you and have already gone back to the other side. We've got our ancestors who were here before we came to the earth. All this beautiful energy and family, blood, all this bloodline and all this beautiful experiences, sometimes challenging and exciting, energy that they bring in. Unicorns, fairies, whatever you believe are those beings of unconditional love and light. There's this large host, and they are these connections. And so huge message about connecting to that other side. It's not saying that you don't have people like souls that are walking on this earth in human bodysuits that, no one cares about me. They care about you, but they, in our journey here, when we're in our humanness, we tend to care more about ourselves. And they see your life through their own eyes, so they don't even see what's really going on. They can just, the blinds are right above. This is all they see is themselves. They don't see things. So the really caring, unconditionally loving connections that you can trust, that are unconditional, which means you can't lose them, all of that is from up above. And you find that from within, not from out here. So let's read here. Friendship. Partnership of two, possible love. This card shows a couple in a tender embrace with the woman holding the blossoms of new love. Like the community card, this reveals a caring connection, but usually between two people only. This card upright signals the beginning or deepening of a kindred spirit friendship, or even the appearance of new love. It can also signify a formal business partnership. So when this card appears, be on the lookout for new connections presenting themselves. The relationships you already share may become more intimate, purposeful, or present at this time. Notice the opportunities to forge new or deeper bonds. There may be a tender karmic connection at hand. So, I really feel, this is a general reading, so some of that could spill out and impact your life, but I can guarantee you that as you connect to this higher love, that it fills you up and it overflows, and it does change your outside relationship to others, because your viewpoint of your relationships and what you need from others and what you can give to others changes, because when you're in your human form, you can only give as much love as you have self-love. So to the extent that you love yourself, so if you only love yourself like this much, because you're not in this unconditional love that we're talking about, this is as much love you can give to others, and that's how much love you can receive from others from the outside world. But as that self-love grows and that connection to that unconditional love grows, then the amount of love you can give changes, and the amount of love you can receive changes, which, of course, impacts those relationships. I also love that it talks about, related to the community card, which is normally like the Three of Cups in the tarot. And for me, that's a special message, because for me, that represents our connection to our higher community. So that is a validation for me for this reading, that this card is really focusing in on your relationship to those people up there, those beings up there. Right, we're going to dig in more here. So next we're going to move into the Pentacles suit, which that's the earth element, and this is going to represent the physical world. So this is all those characters that are on stage with you for this, improv play you're involved in. Also any situation that's going on out there, like your job or any circumstances like that, or possessions, your finances, and even your physical body. So this will be what the Creator wants you to know about your physical adventure during the month of November. All right, Creator, so for our Aquarians, what else would you like them to know, or what do you want them to know about their physical world, their physical adventure? Yep, you got the Page of Pentacles. So definitely the page is, it has two meanings for this reading for you. First of all, the page are the communicators, right? So they're the ones that went around going, hear ye, here's your message. And so this means that you're going to be getting messages from the outside in, and those messages are going to be coming from spirit as well. So you get spiritual messages from the inside, right? You get the knowingness. Cups, which we'll talk about in a minute, are your emotions. So you'll get emotional messages, or the empathic feelings and communications. But this is all about getting the messages from the outside. So overhearing someone's conversation and you're like, oh my God, that means something so much to you, like a confirmation, or you're getting signs and synchronicities, just messages in social media, wherever it might be, you're going to be getting these messages from the outside world. So that is an amazing, message that's coming, and totally understanding that you're getting messages from all over. It's going to be an amazing month of spirit interacting in your life. It's going to be hilarious. Also, the other thing that with the pages is, pages are like children. And so for pages, for me, the way that the energy comes through is, it's like going back to when you were a child, before you had so much suppression from the outside, opinions on who you should be and what you should do, all those popular opinions and popular emotions about how you should feel, how you should think, blah, 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 all that. So before that, before you get all the praise and punishment and all that conditioning and, human brainwashing, you have this just it's like this, I don't want to say faith, but it's like this joy, this trust that there's so many possibilities. The world just seems so new and so open, like anything is possible, is the feeling, right? And so this is definitely this transition, especially when you start seeing things from a higher perspective. You're going to see possibilities where you didn't see possibilities before. And so, when the conditioning comes in, then the road becomes very narrow on how things get resolved and how you solve things, right? But as you get that higher point of view, it expands, and there's all these other possibilities out there. So it's definitely also these new opportunities, new ways of seeing things come in for you during November. So I like that. We're also going to pull a card here from the Angels and Ancestor Oracle, just to see what else the Creator would like you to know about your November and the physical outside adventure. All right, Creator, what else for Aquarians for the physical world? Okay, that's it right there. Yep, you got the Winter card. And it says, take care of your needs. So, the world of the winter time frame is about, there are seasons. That's the thing about the physical world, is that there's a timing for everything. And, spring is when you plant new seeds and they grow throughout summer, become, ripe. And then autumn comes when you have the harvest and things start to, the leaves start to fall and things start to die off. And then winter is the hibernation period where, the snow falls and gets the soil ready for springtime for new seeds to be planted. So this is about being, taking this time to away from things, away from the noise, again, coming to like this, I feel like the high priest is going to a temple. It's like you're drawing in to this space that's quiet, that you can nurture you, that you can, focus on your connection to the higher realms and building that connection, because this is a period of pulling in, because when spring comes, it's going to be like Shazam. Let's see what else. Here's the seasons at the back. There we go. So it says, do everything you need to be at your best, then move beyond your fears and limitations. Like we talked about, new possibilities. For many of the animal realm, winter's a time of hibernation and retreat. So you may wish to curl up in a ball too. But although you may not feel as bright as you'd like to be, a primal force within is encouraging you to continue. The Winter card features a wolf, one of the few animals that stay active all year round. Wolves know what it's like to work alone or thrive within a pack. So if you feel you need to go it alone at this time, know that wolf medicine will help you move beyond your insecurities and relax in your own space. And the extended message for this card states you have an opportunity to move beyond your fears. Although you may feel in the dark, get comfortable with being in the unknown and trust that the light within you will sustain you through what may seem a challenging process. Ask yourself what you need to do to feel supported and alive. You may uncover something from your past that you have buried deep. Know that when you unearth it and shed light on it, you create space for miracles. You may feel like a lone wolf right now, but it's time for you to be the alpha. All right. When the Winter card arrives in a future position of a spread, or at least a card in the reading, it can also indicate that the coming winter will usher in important energies with regards to your question or intentions. Yep. Depending on if you're in the northern hemisphere, then winter is coming up. I think it would be in December. is when the winter solstice starts. And of course, if you're in the southern hemisphere, then your winter, you're kind of coming out of that right now and coming into summer. So it might be you've already received messages that you're taking with you into this spring as it's coming up. And, you know, or it could be next year will be additional messages coming for you when you head into winter. But definitely the spark and the inner light it's talking about is connecting to this higher place, your higher self. And then we're going to move into the swords suit, which is the element of air. And air is your mind, so that's your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes, your expectations. So all that to do with the mind. And so this will be your mental adventure, what the Creator wants you to know about it for the month of November. All right, there we go. And this, being Aquarian, you are air elements. So this is your realm that you're in. Yeah, and you get the four of swords here. And the Four of Swords, you can see that they're resting and they're actually content and they've got peace of mind. You know, this whole peace card is coming in there. And that's pretty cool because I love, a lot of decks will show like the three swords up above, them laying down, and the fourth sword is this long sword underneath them. And that fourth sword that's laying down there is the Ace of Swords. The Three of Swords up above, that would be the card that, of course, comes before the Four of Swords, is what I call the expectation card. It's where we experience heartbreak and those shadow feelings that we come here to experience. It'd be the storm, the chaos feeling on the outside. All those conditioning that I was talking about, all those things that were making you, obstacles, that brainwashing as the human, that made your pathway seems so strict and so defined, but the Four of Swords is that peace of mind that comes because that Ace of Swords you use to start cutting away those expectations, those beliefs and those thoughts and those attitudes that no longer serve you. They've served you to have you be able to experience what that storm of chaos might feel like, what it might feel like to feel restricted and small and limited. But as you connect to your higher self, you see that contrast. Instead of feeling small, you feel endless. Instead of feeling limited, you feel limitless. Instead of feel conditionally loved and unstable, you feel unconditionally loved and stable. And so this beautiful thought, cleansing, the purging of those things and thoughts that no longer serve you, are bringing you this beautiful peace of mind that comes, around with that. And I love that this is card 31, which 3 + 1 is 4. So definitely this peace that comes in there as well. We're going to pull another card here. And this is going to be from the numerology guidance cards. And this is just going to be what else the Creator wants you to know about your mental adventure during the month of November. All right, Creator, what else? What else for Aquarians for their mental adventure? This is where you, like I said, this is where you live and breathe. And actually, you're going to have two, which makes sense. You get a lot of messages around your mental side. Yeah. So you got relationship change, which is all about these connections. So your relationship to yourself, your relationship to your higher self, and all those beings on the other side, which then, of course, like we talked about, also rolls over into your physical relationships with these physical beings on the earthly plane. And what I love is it's card number 56, which breaks down to 11, which breaks down to a 2. And again, this talked about this relationship of 2. The number 2 is very just revealing, and it brings us awareness of that there's more than just this human side of you that's living on the earth. It's like there's 2 of you within your beingness walking upon this earth, the human side, the brave side of us that was willing to disconnect from that feeling of unity, that feeling of powerfulness and everything, to experience all those, uncomfortable emotions I was talking about feeling small and all of that. But then, like I said, you have these are the two sides of you. You've got the little you and you got that huge you that's there. And he's got a trumpet going, here I am, don't forget me. And it's about this reconnection. And this is the time that you've really wanted to move to this next level of connection with your higher self. Yeah. And then you've got your health. So this is definitely about your mental health, your spiritual health, your physical health. It's really, I love this winter, taking care of your needs, because this is about time for you. You don't have to always be giving yourself away to everyone else, right? And I really feel that the one card we're going to read from the book is going to be this relationship, because just how this message is so much about that. But it definitely, there is this undertow about taking care of you. And that's really one of the biggest things we can do. Because when you connect to your higher self and you get this peace of mind, you have this beautiful, loving energy pouring into you, it is healing on so many levels. And when you become unstressed, your body then moves out of fight or flight mode, moves out of that dis-ease feeling. And your body, when it's working at its most highest potential, is a very healing, self-healing body. So this card, of course, indicates a time when a relationship in your life is going through a period of change. This adjustment is inevitable and necessary for natural progression of the relationship, and the wisdom and experience gained will be of great benefit to all involved. Whether it's a child leaving home, a partnership or friendship ending, or a loved one, a friend, a work colleague, or neighbor is going through a change, know that you and the other person are divinely guided and protected and have the strength to carry on. This card can also indicate a positive relationship change, such as a declaration of commitment, like a wedding or engagement. It can also indicate the resolution of an ongoing problem or dispute. During this period of transition, it's important to remember that as you grow and evolve, your relationships grow and evolve too. So be flexible and adaptable and know that all is well. Yeah, so that's exactly what I was talking about before. As you connect and this relationship with yourself evolves, then your relationship with the external stuff evolves as well, right? The self-love grows, then all the love relationships in your life grow and expand in beautiful and wonderful ways. Okay, lastly, we are moving into the Cups suit, which is the water element. And like I mentioned earlier, this is all about our emotions. So this will be what emotional adventure you'll be going through, what the creator wants you to know about your emotional adventure in November. So creator for our Aquas, our Aquarians. Okay, there we are. Yep, and you got the Six of Cups. So the Six of Cups is about, it's like the nostalgia card. It's about reflecting back on the emotions of the past. So it's about connecting to, it could be like old relationships making themselves known. I mean, the oldest relationship we have making ourselves known, of course, is our higher self, which we knew before we came down here. So definitely that. But I really feel like with these relationship change theme that's coming in here too, it is about revisiting old emotions, old viewpoints of relationships. Because when you have this higher viewpoint that you get from connecting to your higher self, you realize that how you perceived old relationships or old memories of things that happened in your life, when you come from this higher point of view full of unconditional love, finding everything you need within you, when you go back to look at old memories, you actually look at it in a whole different way. Because when you are in this calm, peaceful state of mind, you're able to see things so much more clearly, because you're not in fight or flight mode. You're not in defending mode or running away mode or fight, Fight Club mode. You're really able to see that your emotions and your story you apply to the situation were based on your fears and your conditioning, like we talked about. And then the other person, they were just responding out of fear themselves. So they were literally out of their minds, because when we go into fight or flight mode, the blood rushes from our brain to go have us fight or have us run away, right? So they were only acting out, like someone that's drowning, let's say, and you swim out to help them because that's your instinct, is to go help someone, and then they're pulling you under the water, or they're moving and flailing their arms and they happen to hit you in the head, and so you're like, oh my gosh, this is all, they hated me, they were trying to kill me. But when you go back and look at it and go, oh, they were just panicking, they were just crying out for love, they were only doing what they felt they could do with what they believed at the time to try to get love, whatever it might have been. And they're like, okay, so this wasn't personal. This was just them freaking out, panicking for love, wanting to be loved, fearing being rejected and being unlovable. And so you see this whole new world unfold. You see your life from a whole different perspective, and your life just goes through this beautiful release. And there's such a strong connection between our emotions and our mind and our beliefs and our attitudes, right? Because we're emotional beings who think, and so we feel emotions first, and then our mind creates stories and try to prevent the bad things from happening, those uncomfortable emotions from happening again. It also creates, beliefs around when we felt good, how we can get more of that. And so with this cutting away of beliefs and ways of thinking, this makes sense because you're changing how you're feeling about situations and things as well. So it's this beautiful letting go of things that are no longer serving you, letting go of these stories that you've put around events. And, we bought in to, like I said, all those popular opinions on how you're supposed to think about things, popular emotions on how we're supposed to feel about a situation. And you're really getting this, like I said, when you look at yourself as this divine being, you can think independently, you can feel independently from that outside human opinion on how things are supposed to be, or should be, or have to be, or need to be, right? All right, beautiful. The last card we're going to pull here is the Angel Guide Oracle cards. And this can be also what the Creator wants you to know about your emotional journey during November, but I'm also going to allow it to be a wild card, to be, since it's the last card we're going to pull for this reading, whatever, lastly, the Creator wants you to know just about your month of November. So, all right, Creator, what's your final message for our Aquarians for November, please? Okay. A lot of energy in these cards. But just bring us the one, there we go, the one specific message to end this one. Yep. Raise your vibration. So I think I mentioned that a couple times during this reading. Raising your vibration from that low, noisy vibration to that higher vibration of unconditional love, joy, peace, and laughter, so you can hear clearly from your higher self and from all that posse of beings of unconditional love and light on the other side. And let's see what the book says here. So it says, it's time to move up a level. It's time to fly high. You may have experienced some setbacks or felt low recently, but that is behind you now, and you have the opportunity to light up like never before. Everything in the entire universe is comprised of energy, and that energy vibrates, drawing toward it similar energy. So raising your vibration means aligning yourself with situations, people, places, and choices that you know will lift you up, support you, and help you grow. When this card appears, you've overcome the darkness and are moving into a time of opportunities, like we talked about. Like a phoenix rising from the ashes, you can be reborn. Know that the angels are acknowledging your commitment to growth, and you are filled with inspiration now and attracting only the good. And this talked about making a commitment, right? But you're making a commitment to you and your growth and your connections. It says there's a sense of achievement around you at this time. You may be receiving documentation, certification, or reward of some description to acknowledge your growth or experience. This is a time to cherish, a time to enjoy the rewards of your commitment to living with integrity and doing good. You've overcome many challenges and risen above adversity, judgment, and possible even abuse, which this is the judgment card, right? Rising above. You are ascending spiritually and personally at this time, and the universe is supporting you. This is the pathway of light, the pathway of your soul's evolution, ascension. So, yeah, exactly. You're getting that connection to your higher self. And the beautiful thing about judgment, without mentioning it, is, as the human form, we have this judgment of right or wrong, of conditions, like we said, these expectations I mentioned about through praise and punishment. You're taught good and bad. When you connect to your higher self, it releases you from this chaotic, constant judgment of what's good, what's bad, what's right, what's wrong, because unconditional love flows in, and you see, again, things from this higher and very different perspective. So I am loving this. Beautiful. I'm going to leave it there. I don't think there's more I can add to that. It's just going to be a wonderful new level. You're leveling up to this different level of spirituality, this connection, this beingness, connection to your soul, and I am loving it. And just know, as you go through each and every moment of the month of November, that you are truly unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things and this beautiful host of beings of unconditional love and light. I also want to let you know that in addition to these monthly readings, I do weekly element readings for each of the zodiac elements. I do new moon and full moon readings and just this whole slew of different readings throughout the month. So if you want to get notified of when those come out and stay in the loop as the weeks unfold, just make sure to hit the subscribe button down below, and then ring the little bell there, and that will make sure that you get those notifications when those come out. And if you enjoyed these readings, just let me know by giving me a little thumbs up. It also helps spread the love to all those that are out there that also need to know that they are so unconditionally loved like you are. All right. Well, I love you very much. I appreciate you watching the video, and I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. You take care.